Welcome to Give God Glory through your story. I'm Cecilia, your host. Today I would like to encourage you by just talking a little about uh, the mystery of prayer. I actually call today's title The Mystery of Prayer. 2 years ago, I was preparing for a conference. So while I was preparing for a conference, I had a lot of books, and on the front page, I would write messengers. And I remember I was like so tired. It was around 11 o'clock. And then I just said that I'm tired. So I closed my eyes just for a short while. And when I closed my eyes, I saw a picture. I saw a picture of um, a guy that was kicking a woman constantly. This lady was aged 25, wearing a yellow dress, and she was continually screaming, please stop, just stop, please stop. And I saw the picture and I opened my eyes and I said, God, is this human trafficking? So what I did is I started to pray for the situation, even though I didn't really know, but I just prayed for the situation. And funny enough, I could have thought that maybe it's just a girlfriend and a boyfriend that's fighting, but that was not the impression that I got. So the following day, on Saturday, at the same time at around 11, I got that picture came to mind again. So I continue praying. Sunday, I go to church. I remember when I was crossing over the street, I said, God, why am I reminded by um, the same picture at the same time? And I just got that the lady with the yellow dress, she has a client at around 11. And the guy who's kicking her is the one that arranged it. So every time when the guy comes, the guy would just go back to him and say, the lady doesn't want her. And this guy does not want to force himself on the girl because he's a decent guy. So I realized, okay, this is for real. There's nothing that I can do but pray. And I was a little bit scared, but I had that urgency that there's nothing else that I can do but pray. So I remember Monday morning, I wake up and I realized that this is something that I have to do, even though that I'm just praying. So there was always a book. I would always write what I'm receiving and all that. So I remember I was praying because I said to myself that, okay, fine, this lady has a client at 11. But surely she's not the only one, and there's a lot of things that's happening during the day until then. So I just felt the need to pray to cover her and all that. So while I was praying, I received a picture again of a young little girl who is around 10, the age of 10, with two little ponies, and she was playing on the grass and a very happy face. And all of a sudden that same happy face just changed to a sad face. And at the background there was a big huge building that I saw, like one of those old strong buildings. And okay, I just continued praying. I said, okay, fine. And while I was praying, I received names. I had a name Elaine and I had a name Leanne. So I said, okay, fine. Every day I was receiving something. I was receiving names. I was seeing a different picture and all that. So the following day, I would continue praying. The following day, I would see myself in the building. The floors are not tile, it's just cement. The walls are rough cement. The building itself was an old building, but it was huge. There's long passages. It is cold inside. The roof is high. So, and then I realized that that's real. So what happened is I just continue praying. I continue praying. And I like to reason. So I started reasoning with God. I said, God, I don't understand. If this guy is so decent and he's so, he doesn't want to force this girl, but my reasoning is, what is he doing there? Because I felt like it is because of him that this lady is getting beaten up, because he would just come and the lady would say no, and then he would not touch her, he would not do a thing, he would just go to the guy that arranged it, and he would just say the lady doesn't want her, and then the guy will come and beat the lady up. So I and then I said to myself, no, this is not, I don't get it, because it is so real. I eventually got like really mad because of the situation. But what happened is, I just got that I have to pray for this guy so that his heart can be softened. And on that same day, I was reminded about the book of Hosea. So I went to the book of Hosea and I read, and I saw there again how Hosea um, went and redeemed his wife time and time over again. Even though the wife will go back, Hosea would just go and redeem the wife. And what I actually got was that this same guy who is the client will save this lady out of this predicament. He will be the one that rescued the lady. So, okay, fine, I just continue praying. Every day I would receive something. I would write it down. Every day I would um, trust the Holy Spirit to hear, what can I do next? What can I pray next? And all that. I remember there was one lady, one of my friends, she once said, do you know where the place is, where the building is? I said, it's not in South Africa. I know that it's not in South Africa. Um, the name that I got was, it is around Germany. And I was like, which is true, because those buildings, we don't have those buildings this side. If you're South African, you know that you know. But what happened is, on the last day, I saw how there were guys that's been handcuffed. I saw how kids were being released, really being freed out of this place. And yes, I was relieved. But deep down in my heart of hearts, I had this feeling that it is not over yet, that the big culprits are not caught yet. But I prayed, and I was happy that because every day there was this urgency to pray, and you're a little bit anxious, but you're doing what you have to do. And every day I have to just sit and hear and listen what to do, just that spirit of obedience. And I have to say, it was out of my comfort zone, but I have to say that I was available. So, what I'm trying to say is, this is not my testimony. This is someone's testimony. I'm only sharing this to say that how God used me through prayer. The other thing that really, I don't know how to say it, but I should say that consoled me was, I listened to an interview of Christy Kane and Priscilla Shire on the chat. And on that program, I remember they were talking about what people can do to help, because Christy Kane is in what they call it A21. So she was saying how people can help, and then they were asking for prayer, because they said there were times that the authorities did not want to help. It doesn't matter what they say, the authorities did not want to help. So they would just ask people to pray. And then some of the men would just come, they would go to the places and say, get ready, tonight I'm coming to get you. And then they would rescue all these girls out of those places. And for me, it was like, this is so real, because with them, it was something that happened physically. But for me, it was something that happened, what should I say? Spiritually, I was praying and I could see the things happen. Yes, I may never meet them. Uh, it's okay. The thing is, like I said, it's not my testimony. It's just to say how God used me through prayer. So, what I want to say, I wasn't ready. I didn't know how to do it, but I was available. I was obedient. So, I want to encourage you. Always pray, because the power of prayer is powerful in such a way that we have no idea what who God can use to rescue you, who God can use to help you. Um, it doesn't even have to be a dangerous situation. It can just be maybe because of a breakthrough. Because you hear so many times people would say, I don't know how I've done it, but God helped me. So for me, this is my encouragement. All I want to say is, this is something that I can only give God glory, because I know that He is able to do anything. He is able to do more than we can think or ask. So, guys, give God glory through your story.